Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our regular meeting of council. We'll start with the land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that we live, work, and gather on the traditional and unceded territory of the Algonquin people, specifically the Temiskaming First Nation. We recognize the presence of the Temiskaming First Nation in our community since time immemorial and honor their long history of welcoming many nations to this beautiful territory and uphold and uplift their voice and values. I'd like to call the meeting to order. A roll call, please.
Good evening, Your Worship. All members are present with the exception of Councillor Graydon.
Thank you. A review of revisions or deletions to the agenda. Seeing none. Move on to item 5, the approval of the agenda. I do have a resolution in front of me. Be it resolved that City Council approves the agenda as printed. Can I get a mover, please? It's Councillor Foley. Councillor Wilson. Discussion. All in favor? That motion is carried. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest in general nature? Seeing none. Takes us to item 7, public meetings pursuant to the Planning Act, Municipal Act, and other statutes. We do have a zoning bylaw amendment. The owner is RK Bro Holdings, Inc. Subject land is 195 Roland Road. The purpose of the application is site-specific amendment to amend the R4-18 zone provisions to permit the construction of a duplex dwelling, 2 units, to replace the building containing a rental office, and to increase the number of permitted units from 18 to 20. The public meeting scheduled tonight is for one zoning bylaw amendment application. The Planning Act requires that a public meeting be held before council decides whether to pass a bylaw adopting a proposed amendment. The public meeting serves 2 purposes. First, to present to council and to the public the details and background to the proposed amendment, and second, to receive comments from the public and agencies before a decision is made by council. I now declare the meeting to be open and to be a public meeting pursuant to Section 34 of the Planning Act. The zoning bylaw amendment application to be heard this evening is, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, application number is ZBA 2024-01. The applicant is Roger Bro Holdings. The subject land, 195 Roland Road. The purpose of the application, site-specific amendment to amend the R4-18 zone provisions to permit the construction of a duplex dwelling, to replace the building containing a rental office, to increase the number of permitted units from 18 to 20. Shelley, do you want to present the application, please? Thank you.
Okay. So as Mayor LaFerrier mentioned, the applicant is seeking to amend the R4-18 zone provision to permit the construction of a duplex dwelling, so 2 units, to replace the building containing a rental office, and will be increasing the number of permitted units from 18 to 20 on the property. So the property that we're speaking about is on the corner of Roland and Raymond Street, so it's the blue property in the hash marks right there. Some site photos. So this is taken from the corner of Roland Road and Raymond. You can see that one of the buildings is already constructed, with the second to the north also being constructed. Another photo here of the site. Oops. So the current zoning is high-density residential with exception, so R4-18, and the permitted uses are 3 dwellings, so 3 townhouses with a combined total of 18 units, and the 4th building being a rental office that can be considered generally incidental and accessory to the main residential use of the property. This thing is not being helpful. Yeah, please. Yeah. So what we're we're proposing to rezone it to is still the same, so R418. However, the exception will be to permit a duplex dwelling to replace the building containing the rental office. So that fourth building will not be the rental office, it would be a duplex building instead. Therefore, we need to increase the number of permitted units from 18 to 20. So this is a screen capture of the revised site plan provided by Mr. Bro. The duplex, so building 4, will be constructed in the same area that was previously proposed where the office was going, and the size of the building will be similar. A site plan control agreement will be amended to reflect this change at a later date. So because this falls between, in the MTO permit control area, they were circulated the application for comments, and they did support the application. Are there any questions?
Any questions for Shelley? No, thanks, Shelley. Are there any questions or comments from the applicant? Mr. Bro, did you have any?
No, I appreciate the focus on getting more places for people to live than an office.
I like the way you think. I'll ask Shelley to read any written comments that have been received. None. Thank you. Are there any questions or comments from members of the public? None on mine. There's nobody else here. Are there any questions or comments from council? Councillor Whalen?
Yeah, just quick. I'm sure it is cleared up, but MTO, that ditch that runs down there, they've accepted responsibility for that?
Which ditch?
Between, be on the east side, yeah.
Yeah, we went through all the stormwater.
Okay, so that's all taken care of?
Yes,
Resupply?
we've had no issues.
Okay. Good, thanks.
Water drainage seems to be good.
Thanks, Councillor Wayland. Any other questions, concerns? No. If there are no further comments, I declare this portion of the public meeting to be closed and advise that council will give due consideration to all comments received tonight. An administrative report will be considered by council at a later date. So thank you so much. Takes us to item 8, review and adoption of council minutes. I do have a resolution in front of me. Be it resolved that City Council approves the following minutes as printed. A, the regular council meeting held on March the 19th, 2024. And B, the Committee of the Whole meeting held on April the 2nd, 2024. Can I get a mover, please? It's Councillor Whalen. Seconded by Councillor Pelche-Living. Discussion? All in favor? Oh, sorry.
In the minutes of March 19th, in the new business, we had a resolution that I had requested be shared with the Accessibility Committee, and I'm not seeing it noted here, so I'm not sure if that gets them.
My apologies, it wasn't noted in the minutes, but it was circulated, or it was provided to Kelly for circulation to the committee.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? So we do have a resolution in front of us. All in favor? And that motion is carried. Item 9, we don't have any presentations or delegations. Takes us to item 10, correspondence and communication. So 10A, Norma Hughes, Chair, and Mike MacArthur, Chair, co-chairs for the Walkathon, Community Living, Temiskaming South, and that's for either 52nd Annual Walkathon that was received for information. B, from John Nifton, the Managing Partner for JK Development, GP2 Limited, read the application to purchase municipal land, and that was referred to the municipal clerk to process in accordance with the land disposition bylaw number 2015-160. Item C, from Wayne Redekop, the mayor for the town of Fort Erie, and that was read a resolution of support for the Architectural Conservancy Ontario, request provincial government to amend deadline of subsection 2716, the Ontario Heritage Act. That was received for information purposes. Item D from the Temiskaming Health Unit, read the socio-demographic data for the Temiskaming Health Unit and the Board of Health briefing note. That was received for information purposes. Item E from Kevin Narrowway, the Senior Manager of Legislative Services, the Deputy Clerk for the town of Whitby. And that was read the resolution of support for the Ontario Energy Board's decision to end the gas pipeline subsidy. That was received for information. Item F from Sasha Helmke-Plater, the Clerk and Director of Legislative Services, the Township of Clearview. And that was read the resolution of support for endorsement of Bill C-63, the Online Harms Act in the House of Commons. That was received for information. Item G, the Honourable Pragmeet Singh Sarkaria, the Minister of Transportation, read the 2023-2024 gas tax program. And we will have a bylaw agreement presented under Section 15 of the bylaws. Item H from the town of Shelburne, read the resolution of support to eradicate all forms of racism. That was received for information purposes. Item I from Chris Gauthier, the City Clerk, City of Brantford, read the resolution of support for home heating sustainability. That was received for information. Item J from Amberly Spillman, the Deputy Clerk for Lottery Licensing Officer for the town of Kirkland Lake. Let's read the resolution of support for exotic animals received for information purposes. Item K from the Federation of Northern Ontario Municipalities, the proclamation request, Hope Air Day for June the 7th, 2024. And the proclamation is presented under Section 14, New Business for Council's consideration. Item L from Rebecca Hunt, the Library CEO for Temiskaming Shores Public Library, read the collaboration approach to homelessness that was received for information. And item M, Bernie DeRibble, the Deputy Minister and Commissioner of Emergency Management, read Ontario's Provincial Emergency Management Strategy and Action Plan 2023 Annual Report that was received for information purposes. And I do have a resolution being resolved, the Council for the City of Temiskaming Shores agrees to deal with communication items 10A through M in accordance with the agenda of references. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Foley. Second by Councillor Ducharme. Discussion? Councillor Wilson.
Just wondering if we can support bring back J.
So item J. Councillor Ducharme.
I'm wondering if we can look a little more at item L and the role we may have to play here, but also making sure that our partners like at DSAB are receiving that letter also.
We can do that. Councillor Pelchat-Levin.
I'd like to bring back item E, please.
Me. Okay. Any other? We do have a resolution in front of us. All in favor? And that motion is carried. Brings us to item 11, Committees of Council, Community and Regional. And I do have a resolution in front of me. Be it resolved that the following minutes be accepted for information. A, the minutes from the New Liskeard Business Improvement Area Board of Management meeting held on March the 11th, 2024. B, the minutes from the Temiskaming Shores Public Library Board meeting held on February 28th, 2023. That probably should read 2024.
Thank you.
And C, the minutes from the Temiskaming Health Unit Board of Health meeting held on March the 6th, 2024, and on March the 25th, 2024. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Whelan, seconded by Councillor Pelchy-Living. Discussion? All in favor? That motion is carried. Takes us to item 12, reports by members of council. Councillor Whelan.
Yeah, not so much a report, there's just a couple of comments. I've had a couple of discussions with the group now that are planning the new Canada Day event locally here. And with discussions with them, I certainly hope the city and council can do their best to support them. If you remember, lots of us spent a lot of time working the Bikers Reunion. Not a huge social benefit to the city, but also a large economic benefit to the city. Hopefully this will be as well received. So I'm just making the comment that I hope we can have discussions with them and do our best to support them.
Yeah, thanks, Councillor Whelan. We have had a number of conversations with them. They did give us a presentation. There's been a number of questions that have been sent back to them, and we've yet to receive a response back from them on those. I know we shared with them the timelines on what we're at, so we're still, absolutely agree. When they get back to us with some of the answers to the questions, I think we can continue to move in that direction. Amy, sure.
They did respond just recently, and you will receive a report at the April 30th Committee of the Whole for consideration.
Awesome. Great. Any other updates? No, seeing none. Thanks. Takes us to item 13, notice of motions. Any notice of motions tonight? Thank you. This takes us to item 14, new business. Thanks so much. Have a great evening.
You too.
Item 14, new business. So 14A, the Township of Perry, resolution of support to amend Blue Box regulation for ineligible sources. And I do have a resolution in front of me. Whereas Council for the Township of Perry adopted a resolution requesting support to amend the Blue Box regulation for ineligible sources at their regular meeting of Council on February the 21st, 2024. And whereas under Ontario Regulation 391-21, Blue Box producers are fully accountable and financially responsible for their products and packaging once they reach their end of life and are disposed of for eligible sources only. And whereas ineligible sources, which producers are not responsible for, include businesses, places of worship, daycares, campgrounds, public-facing, and internal areas of municipally owned buildings and not-for-profit organizations such as shelters and food banks. And whereas should a municipality continue to provide services to the ineligible sources, the municipality will be required to oversee the collection, transportation, and processing of the recycling, assuming 100% of the costs. Be it resolved that Council for the City of Temiskaming Shores supports the Township of Perry's request that the province amend Ontario Regulation 391-21 Blue Box so producers are responsible for the end-of-life management of recycling products from all sources. And further, that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to the Honourable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, the Honourable Andrea Kanjan, the Minister of the Environment, Conservation and Parks, John Vantoff, MPP, Temiskaming Cochrane, and to the Township of Perry. Can I get a mover, please? It's Councillor Ducharme. Second by Councillor Wilson. Discussion? Councillor Whelan?
Yeah, I'm glad to see this before Council. I think it's a great resolution. When recycling became mandated by the province for municipalities over a certain population, municipalities balked at first and then decided to run with it and, created a great program that has significant impact on the landfills. Now that's being shifted over to the producer pay system, it's no longer viewed as something for the environment. It's simply a profit margin item, so that's why they're kind of balking at these ideas. But I think if we get enough municipalities on board, we can have this picked up.
Awesome. Thanks, Councillor Whalen. Any other comments? We do have a resolution in front of us. All in favor? And that motion is carried. Next, item B, County of Lambton, resolution of support for the responsibility of and costs associated with the continued construction, operation, and maintenance of major municipally owned highways. I do have a resolution in front of us. Whereas Council for the County of Lambton adopted a resolution requesting support for the responsibility of and costs associated with the continued construction, operation, and maintenance of major municipally owned highways at their regular meeting of Council on February the 7th, 2024. And whereas the province of Ontario has agreed to assume responsibility for the Gardiner Expressway and the Don Valley Parkway from the City of Toronto, which will be uploaded to the province of Ontario. And whereas, like the City of Toronto, all municipalities in the province of Ontario are experiencing significant financial and budgetary pressures, including those related to infrastructure development, maintenance and repairs, and are seeking reasonable solutions to address the same while balancing their financial books. And whereas the uploading of municipal highway infrastructure to the province of Ontario, or alternatively appropriately increasing the Ontario Community Infrastructure Fund to Ontario municipalities, will assist municipalities in addressing such financial challenges. Be it resolved, the Council for the City of Temiskaming Shores hereby supports the County of Lambton's request that the province of Ontario 1. Upload from local municipalities responsibility of and costs associated with the continued construction, operation, and maintenance of major municipally owned highways throughout the province of Ontario to the Ontario Ministry of Transportation. Or 2. Alternatively, if uploading is not the preferred option of the province of Ontario and our local municipality, to appropriately increase the Ontario Community Infrastructure Fund to municipalities so as to fairly and equitably allocate resources to Ontario municipalities. And further, that a copy of this resolution be sent to the Honourable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, the Honourable Pragmeet Singh, Sarkaria, Minister of Transportation, John Van Toff, MPP, Temiskaming Cochrane, and the Association of Municipalities of Ontario and the County of Lambton. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Foley, second by Councillor Ducharme. Discussion? Councillor Whalen?
Yeah, at different levels, there's currently discussions going on about the province taking a hard look at taking back connecting links. Which have a major impact, especially in Northern Ontario. I support the resolution. My only concern with item number 1 is major municipally owned highways. If that goes through, then we're going to be looking at a 3-year debate with the province over the definition of major. So it's kind of an open, pretty wide open request. You know, the West Road is a major highway to us, not necessarily to the province, so it's going to be a long debate. So the second section I really support, though.
Okay, thanks, Councillor Whalen. Any other discussion? So we do have a resolution in front of us. All in favor? And that motion is carried. Takes us to item C, the City of Quinte West, resolution of support for housing funding. And I do have a resolution in front of me, whereas Council for the City of Quinte West adopted a resolution requesting support for housing funding at their regular meeting of Council on March the 6th, 2024. Be it resolved that Council for the City of Temiskaming Shores supports the City of Quinte West's call on the federal government to reevaluate the lack of funding for municipalities with a population of less than 50,000 in rural Ontario, and to make available funding for infrastructure programs to help build infrastructure and to help build much-needed new homes. And further, that the province of Ontario be asked to invest more than the currently allocated $200 million into their Housing Enabling Water System Fund, and further, that the resolution be circulated to the Right Honourable Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, the Honourable Sean Fraser, Federal Minister of Housing, Infrastructure and Communities, Honourable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, the Honourable Kinga Surma, Minister of Infrastructure, and the Honourable Paul Calandra, Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, John Vantoff, MPP, Temiskaming Cochrane, and the City of Quinte West. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Peltier-Levin. Seconded by Councillor Wayland. Discussion? Councillor Wilson.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Just a friendly amendment, perhaps third paragraph, since the province has actually increased the amount. I believe it's $825 million that they have committed to that. So we could eliminate that third paragraph, perhaps, or...
So you're looking for an amendment?
Yes.
Okay.
If it passes in that format, but it's just because the facts are incorrect on that right now.
Okay. Any other comments? Okay. Okay. So just a friendly amendment then, and I will read the motion again with the amendment, and just to make sure that it meets everybody's needs. That's, you want me to read the motion to amend? Okay, so I guess I'll need a motion to amend the original one, and that council for the City of Temiskaming Shores hereby amends the motion number 2024-146 by replacing paragraph 3 with further that the province of Ontario recently allocated additional funding into their Housing Enabling Water Systems Fund. Okay. Can I get a mover for that? Councillor Whelan. Second by Councillor Peltier-Levin. Any further discussion? So we do have a resolution in front of us. All in favor? And that motion is carried. Okay. So I'll just restate that motion then. Whereas Council for the City of Quinte West adopted a resolution requesting support for housing funding at their regular meeting of Council on March the 6th, 2024. Be it resolved that Council for the City of Temiskaming Shores supports the City of Quinte West's call on the federal government to reevaluate their lack of funding for municipalities with a population of less than 50,000 in rural Ontario, and to make available funding for infrastructure programs to help build infrastructure, to help build much-needed new homes. And further, that the province of Ontario recently allocated additional funding into their Housing Enabling Water System Fund. Further, that this resolution be circulated to the Right Honourable Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, the Honourable Sean Fraser, Federal Minister of Housing, Infrastructure and Communities, the Honourable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, the Honourable Kinga Surma, the Minister of Infrastructure, the Honourable Paul Calandra, Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, John Vantoff, the MPP, Temiskaming Cochrane, and the City of Quinte West. Discussion? All in favor? And that motion is carried. And that was simple. Takes us to item D, the Phenom Proclamation for Hope Air Day on June the 7th, 2024. I do have a resolution in front of me. Whereas access to health care is a fundamental right for all citizens, regardless of their geographical location. And whereas Hope Air, a charitable organization, has been tirelessly dedicated to providing access to health care by facilitating free flights and other services for patients living in rural and underserved communities in Ontario, ensuring they can receive vital medical treatment regardless of distance or financial means. And whereas Hope Air has been instrumental in bridging the gap between smaller communities and hospitals far from home, reducing the barriers that often prevent individuals from reaching medical care. And whereas the impact of Hope Air extends beyond the individual patients served, positively affecting families, communities, and the healthcare system as a whole by promoting wellness and reducing the burden of untreated medical conditions. And whereas the compassion, dedication, and commitment demonstrated by Hope Air and its volunteers embody the spirit of community and the belief in the inherent value of every individual's well-being. Be it resolved that Council for the City of Temiskaming Shores hereby proclaims June the 7th, 2024 as Hope Air Day in the City of Temiskaming Shores, in recognition of the invaluable contributions made by Hope Air to the health and well-being of individuals in Ontario's remote and rural communities. And the Council asks citizens to join in celebrating Hope Air Day and to reflect on the significance of ensuring equitable access to health care for all members of our society, to reaffirm our commitment to supporting initiatives that promote health, equity, and extend our gratitude to Hope Air for their unwavering dedication to serving those in need. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Wilson, seconded by Councillor Foley. Discussion? Councillor Whalen?
Yeah, I've actually had quite a few discussions with Mark Rubenstein over Hope Air. Council may not be aware of this, but there actually are some flights taking place out of Earlton to private aircraft owners that assist with transporting patients to the cities for critical care. They have a program set up at the hospitality sector where the patients also get hotel rooms of no cost. So there's going to be an event in Timmins on June the 7th. Many of the pilots that I've met are going to be flying into Timmins. Fortunately, that's the day of my granddaughter's graduation, so I won't be able to speak there. But it's a great organization, saves families from the north a tons of expense. So I think it's a wonderful resolution. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Whalen. Any other comments? Councillor Ducharme?
I also think this is a wonderful organization and a really big help to those in the north. However, I do think it's important to recognize that the reason we need charities to do the work is because our healthcare system is not equitably funded in the north, and I think we have to keep ensuring that we have the same access to healthcare up here on a government provincially funded basis as other residents. But in the meantime, kudos to those who are stepping up to fill the gap, and I hope that the province is listening on this day.
Thanks, Councillor Ducharme. Any other comments? Councillor Wilson?
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, just on to follow up on that, the Mayor and I were at a meeting earlier today on transportation issues, not so much related to this excellent organization, but other transportation, medical transportation issues. So it certainly is a major problem, and I just to support your comments there. Thanks.
Thank you. So we do have a resolution in front of us. All in favor? And that motion is carried. Takes us to item E, amendment to council meeting schedule. I do have a resolution in front of me, whereas council adopted resolution number 2023-348 at the October 17th, 2023 regular council meeting, establishing a meeting schedule from January 2024 to July 2024. And whereas Mayor LaFerriere and Councillors Peltier-Leving, Wayland, and Wilson will not be in attendance for the scheduled May 7th, 2024 Committee of the Whole meeting, as they will be attending the Federation of Northern Ontario Municipalities Conference in Sudbury. Now therefore be it resolved that Council for the City of Temiskaming Shores hereby agrees to reschedule the May 7th, 2024 Committee of the Whole meeting to April the 30th, 2024 at 3 p.m. Can I get a mover, please? Thanks, Councillor Whalen. Seconded by Councillor Pelcher-Living. Discussion? All in favor? And that motion is carried. Item F, the proclamation, biannual proclamation schedule. I do have a resolution in front of me, whereas at the February 6th, 2024 Committee of the Whole meeting, Council approved the development of a biannual proclamation schedule. Be it resolved, the Council for the City of Temiskaming Shores hereby proclaims the following days in the City of Temiskaming Shores. National Drowning Prevention Week, July 21st to the 27th, 2024. International Overdose Awareness Day, August the 31st, 2024. Terry Fox Run, September the 15th, 2024. Franco-Ontarian Day, September the 25th, 2024. National Day for Truth and Reconciliation and Orange Shirt Day, September the 30th, 2024. Fire Prevention Week, October 6th to the 12th, 2024. Local Government Week, October the 14th to the 18th, 2024. Falls Prevention Month, the month of November. Indigenous Veterans Day, November the 8th, 2024. Veterans Week, November 5th to the 11th, 2024. The Elimination of Violence Against Women, November the 25th, 2024. And further, the Council of the City of Temiskaming Shores respectfully acknowledges the importance of honoring these days in the City of Temiskaming Shores. Canada Day, July the 1st, 2024. Civic Holiday, August the 5th, 2024. Labor Day, September the 2nd, 2024. Thanksgiving, October the 14th, 2024. Remembrance Day, November the 11th, 2024. Christmas Day, December the 25th, 2024. And Boxing Day, December the 26th. 2024. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Wilson, seconded by Councillor Ducharme. Discussion? All in favor? That motion is carried. Item G, Administrative Report, number RS-008-2024, the ball diamond equipment purchase. I do have a resolution in front of me. Be it resolved, the Council for the City of Temiskaming Shores acknowledges receipt of Administrative Report RS-008-2024, and the Council provides the Director of Recreation with the delegated authority to enter into an agreement with Turf Care Products Canada Limited for the supply of one Toro San Pro 2040Z in the amount of $22,766 plus applicable taxes. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Pelcher-Living. Second by Councillor Wayland. Discussion? All in favor? That motion is carried. Takes us to item 15, bylaws. I do have a resolution in front of me. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2024-037, being a bylaw to amend bylaw number 2020-118 to authorize the execution of the transfer payment agreement for the Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program, Public Transit Stream, the amendment number 1. Bylaw number 2024-038, being a bylaw to authorize an agreement with the York 1 Remediation LP for construction services related to the placement of final cover at the closed Haileybury landfill site. Bylaw number 2024-039, being a bylaw to authorize an agreement with Blanchfield Roofing Company Limited for the replacement of the McCamus well building roof. Bylaw number 2024-040, being a bylaw to authorize the execution of a memorandum of understanding between the Corporation of the City of Temiskaming Shores and One Light Diversity Center to provide settlement support, welcoming events, and community integration services for newcomers to the Temiskaming Shores region. Bylaw number 2024-041, being a bylaw to amend bylaw number 2022-185 to appoint community representatives to various committees and boards for the 2022 to 2026 term of council for the Temiskaming Shores Public Library. Bylaw number 2024-042, being a bylaw to adopt an asset management plan, phase 2 for the city of Temiskaming Shores. Bylaw number 2024-043, being a bylaw to authorize the execution of funding agreement between His Majesty the King in right of the Province of Ontario as represented by the Minister of Transportation for the Province of Ontario related to the funding provided by the province under the Dedicated Gas Tax Funds for Public Transportation Program 2024. Be hereby introduced, given first, second, and third, and final reading, be signed by the Mayor and Clerk, and the corporate seal affixed thereto. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Ducharme. Seconded by Councillor Foley. Discussion? All in favor? That motion is carried. Takes us to item 16, schedule of council meetings. So A, we have a committee of the whole meeting scheduled for April the 30th, 2024, starting at 3 p.m. And B, our regular council meeting scheduled for May the 21st, 2024, starting at 6 p.m. And that takes us to our question and answer period. Is there any questions? No, seeing none. Awesome. Takes us to item 18. Closed session. I do have a resolution in front of me. Be it resolved that council agrees to convene in closed session at 6:55 p.m. to discuss the following matters. A, the adoption of the March 19th, 2024 and April 2nd, 2024 closed session minutes. And B, under section 239, 3.1, the meeting is held for the purpose of educating or training the members, council training session, and training presentation from the Integrity Commissioner. And can I get a mover, please? Thanks, Councillor Peltier-Leving. Seconded by Councillor Foley. Discussion? All in favor? And we're going into closed session. Thanks, everybody, for coming out tonight.